Get in here, get in here, get in here. Shields and Baumgardner. There has been a series of tweets going back and forth between the two of them. There's been allegations of people having a Jezebel spirit. There's been old videos resurfacing, and we're going to cover it all right here. Welcome to Shasha Unfiltered SSU Crew. Let's get right on into it. So Baumgardner had a very strange response to the whole incident that happened between Shields and her at the MVP event. It was very, very shocking, to say the least, what her response was, because after years of her and Shields going back and forth with each other, she mentioned legal action. And everybody is just kind of like, how can you be, participating in mutual combat and then, when it goes left, the first thing you want to do is discuss legal action. So here, I'm just going to share with you what it is that Baumgardner shared to her Twitter page. So she basically shared that when your purpose is to elevate, there will always be people who attempt to pull you down to the level from which they operate. The situation that occurred on Saturday was unprovoked and entirely consistent with the individual involved. While attending most valuable promotions inaugural MMA event as a guest, I was physically assaulted without being provoked. This behavior follows a continued pattern from someone who has publicly celebrated other fighters' brain injuries, initiated one-sided altercations at press conferences, and consistently displayed hostility toward other women. That conduct is unacceptable and should not be tolerated in any professional sport. This behavior reflects a repeated pattern of hostility, chaos, and attention-seeking conduct that continues to embarrass women's sports. The situation has been and will continue to be handled legally and professionally. Now, that's the main part that I wanted to get to, is that, as I said before, she mentioned it's being handled legally and professionally, and I really don't think that that's fair. Is if you're going to be a Twitter warrior, if you're going to be making cryptic videos about somebody, then it's like, don't then try to go the legal route when you see the person in person and they want to react to what it is that you've been doing. So I don't agree with the unprovoked comment, because you've been provoking and poking at the bear for a long time now, and now that you got what you wanted, now it's legal. So I personally don't agree with that, but Shields had a lot to say after she obviously saw this post that Baumgardner posted. And Shields basically wanted to say that she has dedicated her life to the sport of boxing. Through the grace of God, she has been blessed, and her talent has allowed her to undeniably take women's boxing to a new level. That doesn't stop at the ring. What circulated online does not tell the full story. Until now, I do not condone violence. I never have, but I am also not someone who will stand in silence while continuously being verbally attacked, threatened, discriminated against, or assassinate my character, nor will I allow the reality of disrespect to turn into a narrative or talking point about colorism or envy. There is a documented history of attacks and threats by this person that led to this moment, and that history will speak for itself. There is a difference between aggression and protection. I stand on integrity. I stand on what I built. I'm a champion. I carry that everywhere I go, not just in title, but in how I move, what I protect, and what I refuse to accept. I fought too hard and come too far to let anyone rewrite my story or define my character. Any further allegations or defamation of character will be handled accordingly by my legal team. So I kind of feel like that was more like a PR type of thing when she put that last statement, because she never mentioned anything legal until Baumgardner brought that into this whole situation. So I feel like that was just her team telling her to write that last part. So Shields also had a message for MVP, and basically she wanted to let them know, now to MVP, y'all tried to sign me, I declined. You cannot ban me from a place I didn't want to be. Now that part really took me out when I read that. I'm just like, Shields, I feel like she should have been like a comedian, because like a lot of the stuff that she writes is just hilarious. That's what she says. You can't ban her from somewhere that she doesn't want to be. I can go fight anywhere in the world tomorrow. So anyone who think this week a ban matters, it don't. Those false statements will be addressed to y'all. Fighter threatening me and then playing victim is insane. MVP, y'all lying on me is nothing new since you guys came out the gate. Nothing but disrespect, calling y'all fighters the real woke, overlooking my accomplishment, trying to erase my hard work in women's boxing, and constantly trying to assassinate my character with lies. So it clearly shows that Claressa has not come to play. She's trying to address, check, clear up anybody and anyone who has anything to say about her. And it just looked like she's just standing on business in every way possible. So, yeah, so that's basically the main, tweets there that I wanted to look over. Now, another interesting thing is that Shields recently came out with a video about Baumgardner basically talking about her having a Jezebel spirit. Now, if you're not familiar with who Jezebel is in the Bible, that's basically a woman who was very promiscuous and slept with a lot of men. And so that's basically what she's alluding to with Baumgardner here. So before we take a look at Claressa's most recent video on her, I want to play a previous video that Baumgardner has put out about Claressa. And if you pay attention to the fight video, Claressa is basically telling her to not mention her relationship. And so this is just like a video in retrospect showing her talking about Claressa's relationship. This is before the fight. So let's take a look.
End of the day, if that's a married man, you fucking with a married man at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck if he has a woman. If he has a marriage that is on paper to a woman, why are you messing with a married man? Regardless of what the situation is, it's just like that shit to me would be off limits, right? Claressa is a whole world champion, okay? Multi-world champion. She has no kids. She just had a movie come out about her life, and you're entertaining bullshit like that. At this point, she don't have nobody guiding her in the right direction. She don't have no good friends around her to let her know what she's doing is some bullshit.
So again, somebody who has so much to say and again want to take legal action. So here is Claressa's response. Claressa's response was pure comedy. Like I said, she should have just been a comedian, but let's take a look and hear what Claressa had to say back to her about this.
She want to keep
Baumgardner decides she want to keep mentioning me and my relationship in her mouth. Now, to her, I've never spoke about how she's a yeah. I've never spoke about that. How many guys she done slept with, how many boxers she done slept with, what she done. I don't speak about her life. Right? But she has gotten too comfortable. First you disrespect my boxing. Trying to say that my resume ain't this and ain't that. Try to disrespect my legacy. Try to say I got AI 6-pack. You want to say I'm jealous of you because you cute and I'm supposedly ugly. And then, after all that shit don't work, then you bring it to my relationship. That's what the conversation was about, to tell her, keep popping it how you popping it. But keep that there out your damn mouth. Because I don't go around talking about how you're a and you have a Jezebel spirit. I don't walk around talking about that. So now, since we want to talk about it, since we talk about people's relationships, we about to get into it. Because I try not to get personal, but now since you want to get personal and you want to keep running your mouth, I got something for you. I didn't say this. I didn't say this, by the way. I'm just confirming it now. We really know you. Alycia really ran through you. Stop it. Sonny Fredrickson ran through you. Bunny ran through you. Robert Easter ran through you, boy. Hold on. Dominique Rose ran through you. Hold on. Montana Love ran through you. I got this. What's wrong with you, boy? Everybody has some, man. Tony just white. So hold on. For somebody to run around and say that I'm jealous of them, I want to be them because they so cute and they this, baby, I'm untouched out here. Flat out. All them dudes plus more that was mentioned ain't never, could never. But she run around talking about some I'm jealous, I'm envious, I want to be her, I'm insecure. No, baby. Letting everybody do what they want to do with you, that's insecure.
So, what do y'all think about Baumgardner making those comments about her relationship, and then Claressa basically showing video of allegations being made about her sleeping with everybody under the sun? What is your thoughts on that? Do you think that Baumgardner should have just set this one out, knowing her alleged track record, or do you think it's free game, for her to have talked about Claressa and Pap's relationship? And I believe, in my personal opinion, that Baumgardner picking at Claressa and her relationship was just the last straw, because as she mentioned in her post, her tweet, she even talked about her career and her accolades. But it's just like, now when you start talking about a relationship, you've gone too far. So, give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.